What's going on YouTube? This is Sidney Cumbie once again with yet another makeup video. This video is going to be a last minute demo that I did for European Body Art at Monsterpalooza. It was like a week before the event. I went down to European Body Art to pick up some makeup. They asked me to do a demo, so in such short notice I agreed, but I also went over to RBFX and picked up some really killer prosthetics. And I made an ogre. It was really amazing. Didn't need any teeth, didn't need contacts with it. I did use a beard. It's a John Blake beard in this video. He makes amazing facial hair and wigs, so make sure you guys check him out. I also used some wardrobe from the movie Noah in this. If you remember from one of my other videos, I used, it was a self-application video I did, and I used some wardrobe from the movie Noah as well. I have a lot of wardrobe from the film Noah because I just randomly bought it in an auction because I thought it'd really go well for makeup or Halloween or whatever. So if you guys enjoyed this video, it was a lot of fun. Everything was sponsored by European Body Arts and RBFX. I had a blast doing this makeup. Probably one of my favorite makeups so far. Because my model was great and I love European Body Arts. So let's do this, guys. Let's do it. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to put the bald cap on him. The bald cap is not meant to be a perfect bald cap. It is going to go up under the cowl that I'm going to put on him. So I'm just quickly putting this bald cap on him. It is a little bit too big of a bald cap anyways, but quickly throwing this thing down. This is the bald cap that I had in my kit, so therefore I'm just going to use it. This was a large. I think I should have went with a medium. See how big it is in the back and everything. Alright, so now I'm putting on the RBFX cowl. I did pre-paint this a little bit. I used a first layer of purple, then I did a maroon color, and then I did a flesh color over the top. Now I did not paint the full bottom of it because the whole thing is not going to be seen, so the shoulders and the chest of it will not be seen, and I only painted it broad strokes, you know, just stippled it on because I knew I was going to paint the rest of it when I actually have it on them. So now I'm using Telesis right here. I'm using Telesis to glue down all around on the inside of it as far as possible. I am going to reach up under it as well and glue it down that way just to lock down the whole thing. So I'm just lifting things up and gluing right up under it. Now this model did have a little bit larger of a head, but the good thing about the foam is going to stretch. You just don't want your model to be uncomfortable, but he seemed to be cool with it. It wasn't too tight on him, so it definitely worked. So now I put it on the face. What I did with the face is I put Telesis right down the center of the nose, you know, because when you apply a full face prosthetic, you want to start at the centermost point and work your way out. So I put it down the center of the nose and around the nose, laid the nose down. So now I'm working my way from the center outwards. And this is foam latex, so it does stretch. His face is a little big, but I'm sort of just stretching it back to make sure it fits really well. And I had to stretch it back a little bit right here just to keep it away from his eye, so we didn't get any glue, and then glue the prosthetic right down on his eye. And when you're working around the mouth, especially if you're gluing anything at the corners of the mouth or on the lips, you want to make sure you put down a little bit of zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is going to dry out the mouth and the area around the mouth a little bit better. So I did that before I started laying this thing down. And I did mention that I'm using Telesis. If you never used Telesis, you don't know what Telesis is. Telesis is a silicone adhesive made by Premier Products, PPI. It's going to dry super quick, and it has a thinner with it to slow the process of drying down just a wee bit. It is a really quick glue, so make sure you're very careful with it. It will set up on you in no time. And it's relatively strong as well. So when you glue anything down around the lips, you want to make sure you powder it so the model does not close their mouth and stick their lips together. So right here I just laid down the ears, and now I'm looking to make sure the ears are lined up. What I did is I actually laid down an ear and I powdered around the ear to have a nice registration for it. So the powder around it will make sure you lay it back down in the right spot. And I tacked on a little bit of Telesis on there and just stuck it to the side of it. So now I'm just gluing down the edges of it, just tapping it around it. Foam is very porous. It is a sponge, so the glue will actually go through the thin edges and lock down the edges very well. That said, you want to make sure you glue down everything that is up under the prosthetic so you don't get any weird wrinkles when they're making faces. So now what I'm doing here is just using a little bit of Bondo to fix some edges that I did not like. Alright, so now I'm going in with one of my base colors, which is a purple color. This is a Thomas Serpenant Pax. These are all going to be undercolors. This is like underpainting right now. Filling in all the little grooves, so you want to make sure when you're sponging this on that all the wrinkles gets filled, because this is your base layer and you have to seal foam latex with Pax, so you want to make sure you got the whole thing covered. There is no foam latex showing. And now I'm using a brush right here to get into all the little details. And now I'm going to put a little bit of it around the eyes to seal the prosthetic, as well as to feather it out onto the skin. You want to do minimal amount of Pax on the skin, because Pax is a little bit harder to get off. The good thing about Thomas Serpenant Pax is that it is much easier to get off the skin. It is only made with one bond rather than two, so it makes it much easier. So now I'm going in with a Delium Tools stipple brush. This is their large stipple brush, and I'm stippling the maroon color just on the highlight areas, not trying to go into all the grooves with it, just hitting the high points, breaking up the purple a little bit. Alright, now I'm stippling on a lighter flesh color of Pax. Really broad strokes, not trying, it's more like dry brushing it, meaning that I'm not going into the grooves, just hitting the high points with this color. And now that you did that, now I'm going in with an Epic Dat airbrush by European Body Art. It's a really great airbrush. I love it. I use it every time now. And I'm using one of the Autopsy colors. This color is like a dead flesh color that I'm sort of unifying all the wrinkles and everything, sort of fading it into the skin, not making the lines as harsh. I think right here I'm using a reddish blood color for the cheeks and the nose, and a purple for the ears, the lips, the nose. The purple in the Autopsy palette is pretty amazing. I love it. And I'm also using a brown for the nose, and that is also in the Autopsy, new Autopsy palette that is out. So now I'm adding a Glisten Up color, and I already spattered on this. I did a nice spatter coat. Spattering is going to break up any harsh lines in it as well. So I spattered that purple, that brown, and maybe a little bit of that red color and the flesh color. So now I'm adding a Glisten Up. A Glisten Up is made by Thomas Serpenant products. This is going to make it look more like skin, more translucent, and it's going to dry and stay all day. This is why I love Glisten Up so much. I use it in all my makeups because it will make it look more like skin, because making foam look like skin is hard. So you just got to learn how to paint it. So now I'm using some matte Telesis to lay down this beard. This is a John Blake beard. A really amazing beard. Maybe a little pricey for some people. This was a $400 beard. It comes with a mustache too. I decided not to use the mustache. I didn't think it looked well. I thought, you know, this Ogre looks better without it, so I just used it. As you can see, I didn't glue down a lot of this prosthetic, but the wardrobe right here is going to cover it. I got this wardrobe from the film Noah. Noah with Russell Crowe. These wardrobes, I have a couple of them from the film. As you can see, they're pretty awesome. I thought it would go really well with this Ogre. And he looks monstrous right now. It looks really big. I also didn't use contacts or teeth with this makeup. I wanted him to look more humanoid and more friendly. But the wardrobe makes him look badass, as well as his awesome beard. This is a fun model. He's really, he's a champion right here. So this is the final makeup. I hope you guys, enjoyed this little video of me explaining the demo to you. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below. I think the eyes look really well. Like, yeah, the eyes really make them more human. Not too crazy. The teeth I did stain up with a little bit of Thomas Serpent mouth stain, make them look a little dirty. Just spray it in there and it makes them look filthy. The ears are my favorite thing on this. They look so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a really quick little video, and I hope I explained everything. I know some things were skipped over, like spattering. Spattering I do in every makeup. I spatter with the airbrush that I was using. I just broke up a lot of the harsh lines and spots and everything with the spatter. But all I used for this entire makeup was the Autopsy palette made by European Body Arts and Bruce Spalding Fuller. It's amazing colors. I love them. I'm going to use that palette in almost every makeup I do now because it's so great. Make sure you guys go check out European Body Art and get that palette because it is amazing. Also RBFX Prosthetics, because RBFX is the best prosthetics in the industry. And if you want to see more of these videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below. And until next time, guys, I will catch you laters.